Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a tips and tricks video with a few random tips from Cuisine Royale on various different gameplay aspects that you might not know about and curious little things that I've learned to do along the way. Now, we're going into this town here, and my friend's just killed somebody, and then he gets gunned down himself. Obviously, the first thing to do is to deal with the enemy in the town. Make sure you kill them off, and if you notice them go down rather than straight to dead, then that means they've probably got teammates left alive. Now, what I've done here is I'm going to use the link portal trap to allow my friend to get back to his body. So I've taken some of the stuff that I might need, and I put a link portal down nearby, and I know there's a fire pit on the hill over towards the dual windmills up there, so you can just run across over to the windmills and put a link portal down at the top of the fire pit, and then you can zap back and get the gear. So just a quick cut back to that. I've revived him and then put the other end of the link portal down and zap back over here, and then he can get his gear. Now, I've done a few different videos on the link portal. It's one of my favourite sprays. I definitely recommend using it because it allows you to get out of danger and do things like that, where you can get to the fire pit to revive your friends nice and easily. A mistake my friend made was to accidentally walk back over that link portal and go back to the fire pit and get himself killed on his own grenade trap that he'd put on the fire pit. So watch out for that. Try not to kill yourself by accident. And then I go back to save money to find there's a whole squad there. And that ends in disaster. Note, if you do something like this, don't shoot the person with the knife, go for the ones with the guns, don't be like me. So if you are going to use the link portal in the way that I did, possibly don't put it right next to the fire pit, put it a bit further off. I didn't think there was any danger at the time, so it's worth bearing in mind that there might well be. Luckily, one last friend in our squad managed to save us, save the day, or at least save me anyway. And so we can carry on. Another pro tip for when you're reviving, by the way, is to go prone. So you'll notice that most people stand up and revive like this, but you can actually do it in the prone position, and obviously you're a lot less exposed. The other thing you can do is you can move in a circle around the fire to avoid getting killed. Now, another one of my favourite sprays is the grenade trap. Here I've got two teams in close proximity to one another, and quite a lot of danger. I managed to gun down a couple of them, and I'm trying to finish them off, but in the process I end up getting killed. Now, the grenade trap has many different uses. I use it to booby trap fridges and bags of loot and stuff, but one thing you can do is when you're down you can also drop it. So I've dropped four grenade traps there, and now I'm down because I know I'm probably going to get finished off, and they didn't realise what's happening, and kablamo, they get blown up and killed. And that's quite a good way to defend your body, although you need to warn your teammates of the existence of those grenade traps. Now here again I'm going back and I'm using the link portal. Initially I use it as a way to troll my friend by putting it down and zapping him to the building behind. So I put the first one down inside that building, and then the other one on top of the roof, and I've sent him back in there and he grumbled at me. But actually the plan was to create a point where you could zap out of danger, and it works perfectly here as another squad comes into town and starts shooting them from above. I managed to get one, but then get shot back at and lose quite a lot of health, so I zap back into this building and into safety. And this is a brilliant way to use the link portal, because then obviously my friend knows it's there as well, so he can zap out of it. So if you are putting it down, let your teammates know that you're doing that, and then you can zap back and forth between those. And if you're not using Viper and you're using Annie, it's a great way of doing it. Another thing you can do is you can crawl when you're down through that, so it's a good way to get out of danger. So here I've got out of trouble, and I'm now revivable without any problems of being shot, which is definitely a bonus. And obviously that's great, so it's worth bearing in mind. Another thing to note though is when one end of the link portal goes into the blue, it deactivates, and you can actually deactivate them yourselves as well. If you go up to it and press your use button on it, you can actually deactivate one end so you can stop enemies coming through it, because that is the other danger, is if they'd known where that link portal was, they could have come into that building and attacked us. The next tip is that fridges are not bulletproof, and don't immediately go and loot people you've just killed, especially in a squad game. Here I've shot that person, he's got a lot of loot, and there's the fridge there, so it's quite tempting to go and get it, but actually it pays to wait, because now what happens is his friend comes in to get his heart, and they get gunned down as well. And then obviously there's now a big pile of loot, but there's still potentially at least 2 people nearby, and one of which is in this building here. Again, this is a little while later, and actually they're not even trying to get their mate's heart this time, but they are nearby, so I want to make sure they are finished off. And you see they went straight to dead, so their entire team is now wiped out, and I can finally get that glorious loot. So don't run straight in to try and get the loot. The next one is actually a dual purpose tip. This is if you notice that someone's deployed the ritual of fast run, that usually means that it's somebody with a pan that's going to try and pan you, because people love doing that. Bullet time is a good counter to that. Put bullet time on and shoot, shoot, shoot. Also scoot, scoot, scoot. The other thing is you'll note that my friend has been downed, and we probably should have revived him sooner, but now everybody's downed. There's one down, one dead, and it's a bit of a disaster. Now, the temptation is to go and revive your friend while the enemy aren't too close. I know that enemy's trying to melee me, trying to get close, and if I had let him kill us, then we would have been dead and it would have been the end of it. So don't immediately go to revive. Sometimes you just have to let your friends die to win the game. Hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting or hilarious. Be sure to subscribe and check out these other videos, as well as taking a look in the description for links and information you might find useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything you'd like to see extra about this, and have a great life.